What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 103, and we start today's episode off with a game against Juventus here in the Champions League semi-final, first leg away in Turin in Italy. So coming into this game, a massive one of the biggest games of the season, taking on Juventus here in the semi-final first leg. Of course, we are the holders of this trophy. We won it last season, beat Barcelona in the final by 2-1, a final which we'll always remember. Ryan Tala scoring that stoppage time winning free kick, unbelievable strike really. I can't believe I downplayed it in the final, but still, taking on Juventus here. As you can see, a really strong lineup. The last game was of course a 2-0 victory against City. Interesting side note, I played that game 2 days ago, but it feels like I played like a month ago. I can't really remember what happened. I know Balotelli scored the opener, and then Lukaku made it 2-0 stoppage time, but I can't remember like what actually happened, so I can't really talk about it like I usually do when I go into a new game and the first of an episode. But still, taking on Juventus here. Anyway, back to today's game. Taking on Juventus away from home. First chance would fall to the Italian side, but from the goal kick, we passed our way forward as per usual. Lloyd Isgrove gets on the ball, plays it through towards Nathaniel Klein on the overlap, down the right hand side, fake shots around his man, gets himself inside, back inside to Isgrove, back to Klein. Klein goes for goal, and it's a good save by Nato as he turns behind for a corner. So a couple of good chances for both sides early on, but it was still 0-0. In the 12th minute though, as Juventus are passing the ball around, Javi Martinez finds Chiellini, but he's robbed by Neymar, who takes it off his toes, goes through one-on-one. Nato makes the save, however, it falls straight back to Neymar, and what a start to this Champions League semi-final first leg. Just before the 13th minute mark, Neymar gets the goal. Makes it Juventus 0, Watford 1. Chiellini is such an experienced defender, a really good centre-back, but he won't want to see that one again. Way too lazy on the ball. Javi Martinez sold him short a little bit, I'll be honest. But either way, Neymar robs him. He should have reacted on time. Neymar robs him, and he does open the scoring there after the first shot was saved by Nato, and the rebound was tucked home. So 1-0 to Watford. In the 18th minute, William Carvalho shot was well saved by the goalkeeper, and eventually Juventus got the ball away. But despite Juventus having the first chance of the game, we were the ones that were making the faster start in this game, looking much better and full value for our 1-0 lead. And in the 28th minute here is Carvalho finds Klein down the right hand side here. He fakes shots around Alexandro, ends up crossing the ball to the centre, and Ross Barkley, what a header by the former Everton man. He left the sinking ship as Everton got relegated last season, and what a decision that was for him, because he's now scored the goal, the second in the Champions League semi-final first leg. What an assist by Klein. I don't know how many times I've got to keep saying it, but as a right back, this is easily the best I've used in FIFA 16. Unbelievable, great cross in, and Ross Barkley leaping like a salmon, heading it into the top corner. An inch perfect header, that one. You know, crosses to headers, they sound like quite, boring goals, really, let's be honest here. But that was an absolutely inch perfect delivery by Klein after a nice fake shot to beat his man. Really good ball in, and what a header by Barkley right to the top corner. And it's Juventus 0, Watford 2. So going to the break, 2 goals up. What a fantastic first half. And in all honesty, it would have been 3 10 minutes after the restart if Nato didn't make a fantastic flying save on the one-on-one against Balotelli. Smothered his body really well there, and smothered the shot really, as it was a good save by Nato, and it was still 2-0. Eventually we won a corner, cross the ball into the centre. Neymar won the header, but unfortunately couldn't get it goal bound. It went wide, the post on behind for a goal kick. So still 2-0 to Watford, but in the second half, attacking well, looking for a third goal. Marquisio struck his shot out of anger really in the 66th minute, as he knew his side were 2 goals down and looking very, very poor in this one. They had another good chance in the 88th minute. Butland being called into action for one of the first times in the game, but making a pretty simple save, and Laporta got the ball away. And it was also how the game would finish as well. Final score, Juventus 0, Watford 2. For both our goals, we went over to the corner to celebrate with the travelling fans, and they'll be going home very, very happy indeed. We win the first leg by 2-0. Defended superbly well in that game as well. I have to say, defensively, I know I've talked about it this year, it is a little bit easier than last year. Everyone admits that. Well, I would probably admit that, I should say. But I do find defending quite easy this year. But either way, when I have a performance defensively like that, when I go away from home against a big European side and just completely shut them out of the game. Pre-game, Martin Tyler and Alan Smith discussed Neymar versus Mesut Ozil as a tale of the tape. Neymar grabbed an early goal, and Ozil was just anonymous. Like, he did absolutely nothing. We shut him down completely. In real life this year for Arsenal, he's playing unbelievably well. But in the game, absolutely rubbish in that one. We just completely smothered him, really. Wouldn't allow him any freedom, any creative freedom to move and create stuff, really. And we did a fantastic job at locking down the defence in that game, and that is why we won the first leg by 2-0. So very, very pleased with that 2-0 scoreline. So going to the second leg at Vicarage Road, we will be firm favourites to be going through to the Champions League final, but not going to get complacent. We know we will still have to be on our game if we do want to get ourselves into our second successive Champions League final. But still, following now, look at the scout report there, and a useful monthly report as well. Also look at the squad report as well, so you can see how the players are currently getting on. Obviously right now with Watford, we we know this is most likely going to be our final season unless you guys vote to keep me here for next season, which I don't mind either way. It will be your choice. But looking at the score we built here of Watford, I got to say, if this does become our final season, I mean, it's just an incredible one, isn't it? This is May, so it's the penultimate one of the season, penultimate squad report before the final one, which will come in a few episodes' time, come the end of the season. And I'm actually quite proud of the team I've built here, really. It's only been 4 seasons, don't forget. It's not like we've been here for like 7 or 8 years. We turned Watford into a European powerhouse in 4 seasons, and what a score we've done it with as well. And in the Premier League as well, as you can see, we are currently 11 points clear of Arsenal with 4 games to go. It's nailed on the wall. The writing is on the wall, as Sam Smith would say, that we are going to be crowned champions for the 2nd successive year, as Arsenal most likely won't catch up to us. We need to lose all of our remaining games, and we haven't lost once in the season this year in the Premier League, so it's probably not going to happen. And in the FA Cup, of course, we are taking on Newcastle in the final in a couple episodes' time. But still, coming to this game against Newcastle, a dress rehearsal for the FA Cup final here in the Premier League, we actually found out that coming to this game, we'd already been crowned champions. I was going to treat this game as a match where, I wanted to win it really and, be crowned champions today. And it turns out the day before that, on the Saturday, Arsenal played United and slipped up. So that meant we were already crowned champions. So this game effectively, in terms of our season hopefully being undefeated in the Premier League does mean something, but not as much as it was going to mean initially until I advanced through to this day in the calendar. But still taking on Newcastle, the first half of this game was one of the worst I've ever played in FIFA. Only a couple of chances for us, nothing else. Newcastle held onto the ball like Barcelona, but did nothing with it. But in the second half, 7 minutes after the restart, we would open the scoring with Lukaku scoring his 2nd goal in 2 Premier League games. It's the only, it's his 2nd goal of the Premier League season, and both of the goals came in the last 2 games. And it's about time I started rewarding this guy with more starts. It's a shame that this will probably be our final season because Lukaku's finally starting to come into his own now that I'm giving more game time. Should have already done that at the start of the season, not that I needed to, obviously. But either way, Lukaku scores the only goal of the game against his former club in the game because we signed him from Newcastle at the start of the season from Newcastle for £10 million plus Vidra. He's been a good purchase for us as well. Only 2 Premier League goals. You might be snuffing your nose up a little bit, but to be honest, turning your nose up a little bit. But to be honest, the way that Lukaku's played in the other competitions this season has been really, really good. So I like Lukaku, and he does settle the score there to make it 1-0, and it was how the game would finish as well. Pretty boring game, in all honesty, but at the end of the day, we've already won a title now. We know that. There are just 3 games to go. It's just a small matter of trying to stay undefeated. A small matter of trying to stay undefeated is the last thing that we need to do. But still taking on Juventus here for the 3rd and final game of today's episode then in the Champions League semi-final 2nd leg. Winning the first leg by 2-0 meant coming to this game, all we had to do really was be solid at the back. We certainly were in the first half, and in the second half here, in the 59th minute, a great chance to make it 1-0, and we do so as well. Mario Balotelli didn't score in the first leg. He was denied by a great save by Nato, but he does score here. He gets played through by Konoplyanka, the Ukrainian, goes through one-on-one. Nato's not going to deny him this time, and once again, Juventus masters of their own downfall, give the ball away. Quick little incisive pass by Konoplyanka, and a great finish by Mario Balotelli. So Watford 1, Juventus 0, and so for Juventus now, they're 3 goals down on aggregate, and for them to come back into this tie, they would need to do what no other team has done to us this season, and that is score 3 or more goals against us. So it's going to look highly unlikely that they will get themselves back in this game, and back in the game maybe, but not back in the tie for sure, as it's 3-0 on the aggregate scoreline. But just as I say that, obviously they would score right from kickoff to get us down the left-hand side. We failed to cut it out, but it was a little bit of a misfortunate goal really. We defended so well at Juventus Stadium, and I can't really complain too much about this. I should have got the ball away with Davis, who had a great game in Italy, but as you can see here, when the ball comes inside, the shot comes in, and Laporta, it just deflects off his body, wrong foot's Butland. Can't blame the goalkeeper really, or Laporta for the deflection. Should have got the ball away with Davis earlier, yes, but either way, Juventus scoring a bit of a stroke of luck there, and they are back on level terms on the night. But they still need to score another 2 goals and get themselves through on away goals if they did want to get themselves through to the Champions League final. But in the 73rd minute, drama here at Vicarage Road, because Dybala, always got it wrong when I was using it for my Torino career last year, scores the goal that puts Juventus in front on the night at Watford 1, Juventus 2, and now on aggregate it's 3-2 to Watford. But if they score 1 more goal and do score 3 goals on the night, they will be going through on the away goal ruling. So we were sitting pretty and sitting comfortable on the stroke of the hour mark when Balotelli put us 1-0 up and 3-0 up on aggregate. But now, with Juventus Juventus turning the game on its head, making it 2-1, it's really, really worrying for us because one goal for Juventus, that's all they need, will put them through on the away goal ruling. But from kickoff here, as we get the ball away, Juventus did the same once again. Bonucci robbed by Ryan Tala, who plays through Mario Balotelli, and it's relief of Vicarage Road. So drama to relief in the space of a couple of in-game minutes. Marco the Magician with the assist, and Mario Balotelli with his second of the game. And Vicarage Road, there was an atmosphere at Vicarage Road here when Balotelli put us one up of just calm and just serenity, really. We know we're going through. Then after Juventus scored their 2 goals, I was thinking, oh goodness no, this is going to be one of the biggest collapses ever if they score a third goal. But once Balotelli rifled that ball in, Juventus, to their credit, did well to come back and make it 2-1. But after that, it killed them off, really. They would have to have scored another 2 goals, and it just wasn't going to happen. So final score, Watford 2, Juventus 2. We sort of did it the hard way a little bit. You know, it certainly wasn't comfortable for us, that 2-2 scoreline, but we get ourselves through to the Champions League final. Balotelli's double ensures that. That's the most important thing, and we'll be taking on Barcelona once again in the Champions League final in a repeat of last season's final. Will it be as dramatic? We'll have to wait and see, but the most important thing that we'll be hoping for is that once again our names will be on the trophy. But that does end the episode, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please leave likes. That's of course much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. The next episode will be the final 3 games in the Premier League season as we aim to stay undefeated, so don't miss that. There's only, I think, 3 episodes left in this series, so look forward to them all. Thanks for watching this one, though. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.